or 5 months after a breakup. I had rescinded my job offer from Microsoft. Like, from a lot of people's perspective, my life was like falling apart. But from
Yeah.
mine, I felt like I was finally building it up from the foundations, but a foundation that was in alignment with, for lack of a better word, like who I really was and my true self and what I wanted to do. And I didn't know what that looked like, but I know what it felt like. And so I had a much better feel of my inner compass and what I needed to do. And I had more courage to be able to say, hey, this feels right. I can't give you the best explanation for it, but I'm going to do this because I know I need to. And you can choose to accept that or not. And kind of unapologetically being myself.
What a challenging thing that is to do. Like, you're 1 or 2 months out from graduating the program, and to decide to really realize, like, you know what, this isn't for me. And almost anyone else would say, well, just tough it up, tough it out, just go finish it. But
Right.
the leap of faith and the full dedication to, I'm going to live a life that's in alignment with me while everyone around you doesn't support it, like, that's so challenging. And few people have maybe the guts to do something like that, and as a consequence end up living in a life that they don't want to live.
Mm.
And to then also be willing to sacrifice everything, like, that's really what this is, right? You sacrificed everything to be willing to create something that was significantly and fundamentally different than what you had been experiencing. And even when the people around you, your friends, your family, were like, Joe, what the hell are you doing? Right? Like, your life is falling apart.
Yeah.
To be willing to stick to your guns through that. How did you navigate that? How did you stay true to yourself through that?
Yeah. It was very clear to me how others were suffering. And I'll put it like this. At this point in time, well, and it was clear to me how I myself was suffering too. So this is probably like the most nihilistic I ever got was around this point in time. Actually, I don't know if it was before I dropped out. I think it's probably after I dropped out that I got pretty nihilistic because everything just felt, my life was totally different. All plans I had had previously, all things that who I was as a person was radically different. I was filming
Hmm.
videos, posting to YouTube, meditating an hour a day, yoga every day. I mean, there were some things that were correlated and that were similar, but basically 90 to 95% of my habits that I was embodying at that time were not habits that I had a year before. And just about 100% of them were not habits that I had 4 years before, except for basic eating, sleeping. But even what I was eating was pretty different. The people I was interacting with were different, et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm.
But the peculiar phenomena that I had observed was that I was going to bed at 11 every night and waking up at 7 every morning, like clockwork. I was meditating
Hmm.
every morning for an hour. I was doing deep work for multiple hours. I was getting time outside. I was eating 2 meals a day, very healthy. I was working out
Hmm.
and I was reading. I was learning. I was educating myself and I was trying to start a business. And I was very routined and very not distracted and very on top of things. My roommates, which this is no criticism to them, just simply an observation, because as I've more so come to embody, things just are and they happen as they happen, and there's no need to point or label. But just to
Yeah.
paint a picture, both of my roommates are in situationships in their last semester. One's constantly like hooking up with girls on Tinder. Another one has this
Hmm.
like kind of toxic situation, relationship kind of thing going on. They're coming home super late, drunk frequently. Yeah, not very happy, clearly pretty like tense and anxious frequently. Yet I was the one that was ruining my life in their eyes. And so what I started to realize as well is that I was triggering people and it had
Hmm.
nothing to do with me. So this goes back to the 4 agreements. One of them is don't take anything personally. And so that's what I really had to keep to heart is like, whatever anybody says to me, positive or negative, is a projection of them onto me. What I constantly told myself is there are two decisions, and those are just decisions, and neither of them are wrong. They just lead different paths, and neither of those paths are wrong.